right, so welcome to another deep dive with us.
Yes, welcome back.
And today we're going to be looking at the philosophy of Kazuo Inamori.
A fascinating guy.
Yeah, so this guy, he started 2 different Fortune 500 companies.
Yeah, and save an airline?
Yeah, Japan Airlines. He saved that from bankruptcy.
Incredible.
And yeah, so we've got some excerpts from his book.
Right, Ted? Yes, and a summary of a talk about that book.
Yeah.
Really interesting stuff.
So we're going to be looking at, his view on work.
Right.
So yeah, Inamori's view of work is really different from the usual, like, grind it out kind of mentality.
Yeah, it's more fulfilling. It's got more depth.
Yeah. So have you ever thought about, like, what work really means to you?
Yeah, beyond just, paying the bills.
Yeah.
What's it all about, really?
Exactly.
I think Inamori's perspective on that is really unique.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
He sees work as, well, not just a means to an end,
Okay.
but as a way to develop your character. Like, become a better person.
Interesting.
Yeah, he even suggests that this Western idea,
Oh, okay.
of work as a punishment.
For original sin.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Has actually led to, well, a lot of negativity
Yeah, I could see that.
around work.
Totally. Interesting. So it's like we've inherited this negative
baggage.
baggage. This baggage around the whole concept of work.
Exactly.
And he contrasts that with, like, Japanese culture where, like, skilled craftspeople are
Yes, highly respected.
deeply respected, right?
Yeah.
And he gives that example of the
Shinto shrine carpenter
yeah.
who believes that every tree has this life essence
Wow,
that has to be honored
I love that.
through craftsmanship.
Wow.
So it's not just cutting wood.
Right.
It's respecting the very nature of the material.
So he's saying that work is more about, refining our souls,
Yes.
strengthening our character,
Absolutely.
and even giving us a sense of control
Yes.
over our own destiny.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's powerful stuff.
So, I mean, this really resonates with me. It seems like he's saying that work can be,
A real tool for personal growth.
yeah,
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
you say.
I would. And, Inamori's own life is a great example of this.
In what way?
Well, early on, he faced a lot of challenges,
Okay.
health issues, career setbacks,
Oh, wow.
but he didn't give up.
Right.
He just threw himself into his work,
Wow.
even like the boring tasks.
Really?
Yeah.
So, like, he found meaning even in the...
In the mundane.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that led to his incredible success.
Right. So he's living proof
In a way, yeah.
that, this idea of finding meaning in work
Yeah.
can
You
actually...
perform your life.
Yeah, if you're dedicated and you're always looking to learn.
Exactly. It's like the more you put in,
Right.
the more you get out.
And that kind of brings us to another one of his ideas, right?
Right.
So Inamori also talked about, learning to love.
What you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love your work.
So how do we...
Even if you don't initially enjoy it.
Yeah, how do we do that?
Well, he believes that you don't have to wait for the perfect job.
Oh, okay.
You can actively cultivate a passion
Okay.
for what you're doing right now
Interesting.
by really immersing yourself in your work,
Okay.
aiming for excellence.
Right.
You start this positive cycle.
Okay.
Hard work leads to tangible results,
Right.
which then fuels your passion
Gotcha.
to achieve even more.
So it's like a positive feedback loop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He calls people who do this
What does he call them?
self-igniting individuals.
I love that.
They create their own fire from within.
So instead of waiting for someone to light a fire under us,
Yeah.
we learn to light it ourselves.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah, it's powerful stuff.
I mean, it seems like that kind of passion would be...
Essential for achieving any real success. Right.
Inamori is a big believer
Huge believer.
in having a burning desire for success.
Yeah.
He stresses that it's not about some, like, magic formula or shortcuts.
Right. No easy path.
Yeah, but it's pure, unwavering determination.
Yeah, like grit.
To reach your goals, no matter what obstacles you face.
He actually uses this example
Oh, yeah.
of meeting Konosuke Matsushita.
Oh, wow, the founder of Panasonic?
Yeah.
What a
Who
great...
believed that the most important thing
Yeah,
wasn't specific strategies,
right,
but that raw desire
right.
to succeed.
Wow. So it's like those who have that will...
Yeah, they'll find a way,
They'll find a way.
according to Matsushita.
So do you think, is that something that can be cultivated, or some people just born with that?
That's a great question, and I think Inamori would say it's a complex answer.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he would argue that everyone has the potential for that drive,
Okay,
but it needs to be nurtured
right.
and directed.
It's not just about wanting something.
No, it's about aligning your actions
Right.
with your aspirations.
With your aspirations.
and putting in the effort.
Right.
But, for Inamori,
Okay.
that effort
Yeah.
has to go beyond just trying your best.
Really?
He really challenges that whole notion.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Yeah. So he's not a fan of just trying your best, huh?
Yeah, he thinks that can actually be an excuse
Oh,
to become complacent.
interesting.
So he'd rather see people like consistently,
Pushing their limits.
yeah, pushing their limits,
Yeah,
viewing challenges not as roadblocks,
right.
but as,
Opportunities for growth.
yeah, I
It's
love
about
that.
constantly,
Raising the bar
yeah, raising the bar
for yourself,
for
always
yourself.
striving to
Your
exceed,
previous best.
right? So like even when you achieve something,
Doesn't stop there.
it's like, okay, now how can we,
Yeah, how can we do even better?
yeah,
What's the next level?
yeah,
Inamori's company,
Kyocera?
Kyocera, yeah, provides a great example of this.
How so?
Well, they had this setback
Okay,
with defective components
right.
for IBM.
Oh, wow, that's a big deal,
Yeah, it was a big deal.
especially back then.
But they didn't give up.
So what did they do?
They doubled down, pushed
Wow.
themselves harder,
And
achieved excellence.
wow,
It's inspiring,
that's
right?
a really inspiring story, and I think it really speaks to his belief that like,
Effort, extraordinary effort,
yeah.
can overcome seemingly impossible things.
You know, it reminds me of something else he emphasizes,
What's that?
the pursuit of perfection.
Oh, yes.
I'm curious, how does he define perfection?
That's a good question.
In like a practical sense?
Yeah, well, for him, it's not just about doing a good job.
Okay.
It's about, like, striving for flawlessness
Okay.
in every aspect of your work.
Wow, so that's internal
Internally.
and external.
Yes, exactly. So, like, even the parts that...
Customers won't see it. Wow, so like he was really
Yeah, his staff at first,
okay.
they're a bit confused by this. Why are we focusing on this level of detail?
Right, right, right.
But over time,
Yeah.
they came to realize
What did they realize?
that it set them apart.
In what way?
It gave them a reputation,
Wow.
immaculate quality.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, it became their trademark.
So it sounds like he's saying that true excellence,
Is about setting the highest standard.
yeah, even when no one is watching.
Precisely.
But is that level of perfection always
Attainable.
Yeah, attainable or even necessary?
In every situation.
Yeah.
That's a question worth considering. I think
Yeah.
Inamori would say that,
What do you think he would say?
The pursuit of perfection
Okay.
is a continuous journey.
It's more about the
Striving.
striving itself
Yeah.
than actually like reaching that
Destination.
destination.
Yeah, because true perfection may be unattainable,
Right.
but it's that striving that makes us better.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I think it's definitely thought-provoking.
I
I
know.
can see how it could be, incredibly motivating,
Yeah.
pushing you to always do your best.
Yeah.
But I also wonder if it could, create unrealistic expectations
Yeah.
and then lead to burnout.
True.
So maybe it's about finding a balance between striving for excellence,
Yeah.
but not letting the pursuit of perfection.
Paralyze you.
Yeah, I love that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So maybe it's about finding that sweet spot.
The sweet spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something that Inamori's philosophy calls us to consider.
Yeah, I think that's a really good insight.
But before we go too far down that path,
Okay.
let's take a step back
Okay.
and recap a little bit
Okay, what have we learned so far?
about his approach to work.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground already.
We have.
We've talked about his belief in work as a path to self-improvement,
Right.
the importance of cultivating passion,
Yes.
and a burning desire for success.
Uh-huh.
And then his challenge to the idea of just trying your best.
Yeah.
And we also got a glimpse into,
His pursuit of perfection.
his relentless pursuit of perfection.
What's standing out to you so far?
What strikes me is that he doesn't see these principles
As separate ideas?
separate ideas.
But as these interconnected pieces
yeah.
of a bigger picture.
Yeah, totally.
They all work together to
Right.
create this sort of
How would you call it?
virtuous cycle
I love that virtuous cycle.
where your actions
Right.
and your mindset,
Yeah.
they reinforce each other.
It's like a positive feedback loop again.
Exactly, yeah.
And it propels you towards a greater success.
And fulfillment.
Yeah, I love that.
But there's still more to explore.
There is, yeah.
His ideas about positive thinking,
Okay, fine.
integrity,
Right.
altruism.
Okay, those are some pretty big concepts.
They are.
I'm excited to dive into those.
Yeah, me too. I think we're in for some...
More fascinating insights.
Absolutely.
So welcome back to our deep dive into the world of Kazuo Inamori.
Yes, welcome back.
We've been, talking about his views on work and success and, living a meaningful life.
Yeah, lots to unpack there.
Yeah, so as we wrap up this exploration, I'm
Uh-huh.
excited to kind of dive into a topic that I'm always interested in,
Right.
which is lifelong learning.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm curious, how does Inamori view this?
Well, he's a huge advocate for it.
Okay.
He sees it as essential, not just for professional development,
Right.
but for, personal growth as well.
Okay.
He encourages us to be curious,
Okay.
to always be seeking out new knowledge,
Right.
new
And to
experience, and take
constantly,
yourself.
yeah, push ourselves beyond our comfort zone.
Exactly.
It's about staying, intellectually hungry, right?
Right. Never getting complacent.
No matter how much you've already achieved.
I think that's key.
I can definitely relate to that. There's always something
So-
new to discover,
Yeah.
a new skill to master.
And especially in today's world,
Right.
things are changing so rapidly.
Right. So we have to always be adapting and learning new things.
Yeah, embracing new ideas.
So Inamori would say that,
Those who embrace lifelong learning will thrive.
right, it's almost like it's not even about accumulating knowledge,
It's more about
but it's about like developing the capacity to
learn
yeah, to learn and to process information
and apply
and then apply it. Yeah.
in creative ways.
Right.
And Inamori would say that learning doesn't just happen in classrooms.
Of course not.
No, it's everywhere.
It can happen through reading, conversations, new experiences.
Even just reflecting on your own life, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's about like,
Recognizing those opportunities.
yeah,
And being,
being ready.
getting that mindset to take advantage of them. Yeah, it makes me think of something I've been struggling with
Oh, yeah.
lately, which is sometimes I feel overwhelmed
Yeah.
by just like the amount of information out there.
Information overload.
So how do you suggest we navigate that?
That's a great question. And I think Inamori would say it starts with,
Okay.
being clear about your values,
Okay.
your aspirations.
So like what am I truly passionate about?
Yeah, what are you passionate about?
What kind of knowledge and skills will help me reach my goals?
And help you live a more fulfilling life.
So it's about,
It's about being intentional
yeah, being intentional,
with your learning. Yeah.
not just passively absorbing.
Yeah, totally.
Whatever comes your way.
So how do we make that connection?
Well, he suggests setting,
Okay.
clear, specific goals.
That align with your values.
Exactly.
So once you know what's important to you,
It becomes a lot easier.
it's easier to identify the knowledge and skills that
You need that will help me achieve them.
Right. And then, you're not waiting.
You're being proactive.
Yeah, be proactive, seek out those opportunities.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But of course, sometimes learning could be a
Yes.
struggle.
Of course.
So you hit those roadblocks and setbacks.
What does Inamori say about that?
Well, I think he'd emphasize perseverance.
Okay.
The path to knowledge and growth isn't always easy.
Right.
But if you maintain that positive mindset,
Right. That we talked about
it
earlier.
draws strength from your values.
And keep those
Goals in
and
sight.
keep your goals in sight.
You can overcome those obstacles.
So it's like it's a journey.
Yeah.
And the setbacks are
Part of it.
a natural part of the process.
Exactly.
So it seems like, all these principles that we've been talking about.
Yeah, they all tie together. The work,
As self-improvement, passion, integrity, altruism.
lifelong learning.
Yeah, lifelong learning.
All connected.
It's all connected. It seems like they all weave together
Yeah, to create a more...
to create a more meaningful and fulfilling life.
I think that's the real power of Inamori's philosophy.
Yeah.
It's not about,
Picking and choosing.
picking and choosing what you like.
But it's more about seeing how they all
work together.
work together to,
Create this holistic approach.
yeah, to create a more holistic approach to life.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up,
Okay.
what would you say is like the biggest takeaway?
What should our listeners ponder?
Yeah. What should our listeners ponder?
I would say reflect on his emphasis,
On,
aligning your actions with your aspirations.
that's great. So like, what do you really want to achieve?
What do you want to achieve?
What kind of person do you want to become?
Yeah, and how can you make that happen
Starting today.
right now?
I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, it challenges us,
Yeah, it challenges us to think deeply about our values.
our goals.
And then,
Take action. Take action, put in the effort,
put in the effort.
continuous learning,
Continuous learning, yeah.
and to remind us that
That true success.
it's not just about,
the external.
external achievements.
Yeah, the trophies, right?
It's about those inner qualities.
Yeah, the integrity.
The gratitude.
The desire to contribute.
Yeah, contribute to something bigger than ourselves.
It's been, I always love having these conversations with you.
Me too.
It's been a real pleasure
Always a pleasure.
exploring these ideas.
And I hope our listeners found it,
yeah,
insightful and inspiring.
Inspiring, absolutely.
Yeah.
So until next time.
Yes, until next time.
Fellow deep divers,
Keep learning.
keep learning,
Keep growing.
and keep striving for excellence in all you do.
Couldn't have said it better myself.